Hey, what's up, nerds? Ray Hale again, starting a new series called Support Your Local Comic Book Store. This series is dedicated to, like the name says, supporting your local comic book store. So as I get an opportunity to go to different stores, I will document that here and talk a little bit about my experience. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, hit that ringy dingy so you get notifications. Don't forget to check out my social media accounts, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I do comic book giveaways weekly, so make sure you check that out. If you want free books, this is one place you can go to. Now this past weekend, I was able to... This past weekend, my family and I went back to New Jersey to go to a wedding for some friends of mine. Congratulations, Andrea and Melissa. We had a great time at your wedding. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. And we got to have a dance party where I essentially killed it on the dance floor. So, you're welcome. While I was in New Jersey for the weekend, I was able to take some time and stop at 3 local comic book stores in Morris County. Unfortunately, a lot of the comic book stores I went to when I was a kid have since closed, so I wasn't able to go back and return to those. But I found 3 comic book stores that were really cool. I currently live in Dayton, Ohio, but spent most of my life in Morris County, New Jersey. And when I was going to go around and go to a couple of these stores, I remember seeing commercials for Fat Moose Comics in Whippany. Never been to this store, always wanted to go. It's kind of a local staple in the nerd community in Morris County. The first store that was on my list to go to this weekend was Fat Moose Comics. Now, Fat Moose Comics has a really, really cool store. A lot of current books. A lot of back issues, even some awesome wall books available for purchase. Graphic novels, lots of really cool statues. A couple of them I really had my eye on. There's lots of stuff for you to purchase, whatever your collecting needs are. While I was there, I get to meet somebody really cool, mingle with some of the customers a little bit, but I met a guy, Sean Hendricks, who's the owner, who was awesome. We got to sit and BS about comic books and collecting and nerding. I found out that he too has his own channel. So on all my social media accounts, I will be posting links and broadcasting this stuff for anybody watching this video to check that out. Again, it's support your local comic book store. So you want to support the owners and the patrons that come through the store. So anybody that's got channels and stuff, make sure you check it out. If you know about it, check it out. You never know who you're going to end up meeting. Also, take the time to find out about any local artists that have their books or artwork posted. Support them. Check them out. There's a lot of really good, independent, unknown artists out there. You know, what's $20? $20 can go a long way to help this artist keep doing their art. So make sure you support them as well. So Fat Moose, we had great store, great staff. We had some cool customers coming through. All of us BSing about comic books. It was really cool. I had a lot of fun. Let's take a moment and go through some of the stuff that I purchased while I was there. Because it is support your local comic book stores. So the point is to go in and spend some money and give them some business. Which you should be doing too, by the way. Let's check out some of the new books. Alright, let's check out some of the books that I got from Fat Moose. These you would have seen me talk about on previous videos. This is the John Byrne 6-part miniseries of Superman Man of Steel. This one is actually a key because it is the debut of the new DC logo. This store, which I think is really cool and all stores should have them, is a section of completed stories. And I was able to get this one, so now I have it complete, and I can't wait to dive into this one and show it on my new completed runs. Like I said, huge John Byrne fan, so I was real happy to get all this stuff. So this was issue 1, issue number 2, issue number 3. Really cool. This is also a key. It's the first appearance of Magpie. Issue number 4. Issue number 5. And issue number 6. So this next one is really cool. This was a wall book. Spent a few bucks on this one, but certainly well worth it. Check this one out. Daredevil Number 40, I believe 1968, 67 maybe. But check out the condition of this book. Nice shape. Look how white the whites are. Like I said, I saw that and immediately the white popped out and I was like, wow, that is a beautiful looking book. So this one I added, certainly needed this for my Daredevil run. And again, these are books that you don't always find in your local comic book store. So sometimes it's nice to go to a strange new store and see some of the other stuff that they have coming through there. But that I was really happy about. Alright, this is a book I wanted to show off that I purchased. Nice hardbound book. Really cool. This is from a local artist, Jim Calafori. This particular book, Ned, Lord of the Pit, has an introduction by Louise Simonson, who I know growing up reading X Factor and various X-Men books. But this stuff is really cool. I really wanted you to check this out. Not only is this a signed copy of the book, but the artwork is fantastic. Like I said, come look at this stuff. Like I said, it's different kind of storytelling, right? Artwork tends to be a little bit different. It's not always the same artists that you find in a lot of the other books. And with a lot of these independent books, they can do tell a number of different stories and take different chances and risks that Marvel and DC typically wouldn't make, because it may not be something that appeals to the mainstream comic book fan. But a lot of this stuff is really cool. It's different. I enjoy it. Sometimes they get a little weird, and I like that. I haven't really read this one yet, but this is something that I will later spotlight on another one of my shows. So that was really cool. I appreciated that. So that was the little haul that I picked up at Fat Moose Comics. Like I said, I got some awesome books. Had a great time at Fat Moose. Sean, thank you very much for your hospitality. And afterwards, flipped through the Google machine and found Dewey's Comic City in Dover. So I took a trip down there. And as I pulled up, I also noticed that it shared a retail space with a art supply store. So as I go in, and me being a little bit slow, I was able to put two and two together. It also shares a property with the Joe Kubert Art School. Now, some of you may already know Joe Kubert is a famous comic book artist, and he's got his own little school there, which is great. He also has a son, Adam Kubert. Both Adam and Joe have been doing comic books for years. In fact, with Adam, I grew up reading some of his Wolverine stories and some of his X-Men stories. So it was really cool to go in there and know that this store in some way is linked and related to him. Plus, I was able to go in and see that they were selling comic books autographed by the Kuberts. So that was really cool. I actually picked one up, and you'll see here in a few minutes. I'll be giving away on my social media accounts, so make sure you check those out. As for our actual books, let's go check out and see some of the books that I bought. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the books that I picked up from Dewey's Comic City. Here we go. This is Avengers 132, Avengers 139, and Avengers 140. Cool cover with Thor, Beast, and Vision on it. I was able to go through some of their budget bins and found more Uncanny X-Men comic books that I need to continue to fill out my collection. So we got Uncanny X-Men number 424, 427, cool cover, 429, 430, look at that cool juggernaut, 432, 433, 434, we have Uncanny X-Men 460, nice cover, look at X-23 in Wolverine's Fang costume, that's pretty cool. This one's a cool cover. This is Uncanny X-Men 461 with Mojo on the cover of it. That's pretty cool. This next one is a key. Uncanny X-Men Annual Number 10. First appearance of the X-Babies, and this is also the issue where Longshot joins the X-Men. So that's pretty cool. Longshot was a popular X-Man in the 80s. So, had this in my collection once, and once I sold off my collection, was never quite able to pick it up, but I found it at a good price at Dewey, so I was very happy about that. And the last thing I picked up was X-Men number 22, as you can see right up here, signed by Andy Kubert. So this will actually be going on my social media accounts. I'll be giving this one away, so make sure you check that out. So, like I said, very happy with what I picked up at Dewey's. Tell me what you think in the comments. One of the cool things for me is I like to go through the comic book stores, mingle with the staff, mingle with the customers that come in, and just kind of see what everybody else is currently reading or looking at, what some of their interests in. And, you know, just having conversation. And at Dewey's, I met this awesome chick, Delia Gunderson. Turns out Delia is a graduate of the Joe Kubert School of Art, as well as she's currently got a number of projects going on as well. She's got stuff on Webtoon, so make sure you check that out. I'm going to send links to all of her social media accounts because her artwork is fantastic. And like I said earlier, part of doing support the local comic book store is supporting your local comic book store by bringing business, but also it's about your local artists whose artwork is also featured in your local comic book store. And she's got artwork worth checking out. So make sure you do that. Support your local comic book store, support your local comic book artists. So once you go on my social media accounts, look for her information, like, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. Do that for her because, she, like I said, she's got a lot of amazing artwork out there and she's involved in some projects now that could use the attention. So make sure you support her as well. So that's 2 stores, both of them an awesome experience. Now my third and final stop for the day was Funny Books in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. Now Funny Books is the only store that I went to on this trip that I've actually been to before. When I used to live in New Jersey, I actually stopped in there, picked up a couple of graphic novels, and my niece was interested in a Spider-Woman action figure, so I managed to find one there. And Steve was actually the one to help me out with it. But I didn't spend a lot of time in the store. This time around, it was really cool. Now, Funny Books is a much smaller store than you're used to encountering, but it's a great store. Steve has a very interesting setup. So like I said, Steve's got a much smaller store, which presents a number of different challenges for him, but he's been in business for a long time now. So he's got this down to a science. Current books, you got back issues, a little bit of silver and bronze, some wall books, some really, really cool stuff in there, some trades, and some Funko Pops, action figures, stuff like that. A little bit of everything. It's fantastic. What I also found out when I was there is that Steve is also a current comic book writer, artist, and publisher for his own independent comic book. So like I said, we're supporting everything now. So while I was there on my way out the door, when I found out about this, I bought the first 13 issues. So we're going to check those out, as well as check out some of the books that I picked up when I was in the store. So let's go check those out too. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some of the books that I purchased at Funny Books. So this first one, it's a reprint. This one is something that I wanted for my collection for quite a while now. It is a reprint, but it acts as a nice placeholder. This is Avengers Number 57. It is the first appearance of the Vision. It is the second appearance of Ultron. And again, because of the MCU and WandaVision, the value of this book has gone through the roof. So to find one is very difficult, and to find one reasonably priced is very difficult. So for right now, because I'm not a rich guy, you know, some of these reprints will have to do as a nice little placeholder in my collection. Next one, same deal. It is the first appearance and origin of the Falcon, the first African-American superhero in mainstream comics. It is also the first appearance of Red Wing. Here is a reprint of Captain America number 117. Cool, huh? This next one, I actually have the original in my collection, but for some reason, whenever I see it, it's one of those comic books that I always buy. Dark Phoenix Part 9, The Death of Jean Grey, the first appearance of Raxor. This is a reprint, but it's Uncanny X-Men number 137. Iconic cover. Again, part of a classic story in the Dark Phoenix saga, and you know I love me some Phoenix. So when I saw that, that's certainly something I had to pick up. Next we have Amazing Adventures number 9, featuring Black Bolt, and as you can see, it's a cool old Magneto story. And this time, it's Magneto against the Inhumans, which for this time would have been a different kind of story to tell in the books. Magneto is mostly known as a X-Men villain, but occasionally made appearances in other books at this time. So that one was pretty cool. All you Shang-Chi fans, found one Shang-Chi book for my run. This is The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, issue 124. Now, these next books are really cool. Now, I always wanted to collect these, but, you know, usually they are... A lot of people are collecting them right now. They're the Alex Ross variants. Fantastic artwork on these covers, but a lot of people are collecting them right now, and it gets pretty pricey, mostly because people collect them and send them off to CGC. But Funny Books had some of these here that were reasonably priced. Again, these aren't 9/8s, but they're high grades. Certainly 9s. So let's check out some of the covers that I got. This is Avengers Volume 8, number 43. Alex Ross variant. Cool Vision cover. Check that out. We also got Strange Academy number 3. The Doctor Strange cover. Again, Alex Ross variant. This is awesome, awesome painting and artwork done on these covers. Strange Academy number 4. Here is the Scarlet Witch variant. Look at that artwork. Fantastic. X-Men Volume 4, issue number 13. This is the Cyclops variant. Awesome. Classic Cyclops there. And Excalibur Volume 4, number 13. Again, Alex Ross. And this is the Nightcrawler variant. Like I said, I'm a huge X-Men fan. Had to grab some of those. Love the Scarlet Witch, especially her MCU stuff right now. Fantastic. So all these are really cool books for my collection. Was very happy with it. Like I said, the owner of Funny Books has also been writing writing and illustrating and publishing his own comic book. So I managed to buy the first 13 issues. So we're going to take a look at those real quick. This is Action Figure Kingdom. That's issue number 1. Issue number 2. Issue number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. Number 11. Number 12. And number 13. Alright, now I want to take a deeper dive into this comic book, show you some of the artwork. I love the classic black and white. Like I said, this is all time that Steve puts into writing and drawing, creating characters. A lot of creativity here. A little bit of a different angle that he took on creating these characters, which I think is really cool. It's fantastic. So you find yourself in funny books, make sure you check these out. Like I said, not a bad little haul for the day. I was very happy with the books that I purchased. Got to check out some local artists, as well as I got to BS with the store employees, some of the owners, and some of the clientele, so that was really cool. So like I said already, and I'm probably repeating myself, but this series is about supporting your local comic book store, support your local comic book artists. All of this stuff matters. So if you like your little nerd kingdom in your local comic book store, you need to help do your part in maintaining that. When you have a good comic book store, you need to tell everybody about it. You need to help draw business. It blows my mind with the billions and billions of dollars that comic book intellectual property brings to TV networks and movie studios and your local movie theater, that there isn't nearly as much crossover appeal from the movies and TV shows into the comic books. I still don't understand why you can buy a Marvel t-shirt at your local movie theater, but there isn't a comic book spinner rack available. I don't understand that. To me, that would be good business and good way to introduce some of the moviegoers to the world of comics. I wish there was a way we can bridge that gap more, because especially in these COVID times, there's a number of comic book stores that are doing well, but there's also a number of stores that are struggling. So please take an opportunity to go visit your local comic book store. $5, $10, $20. Make routine visits if you can, but all of this goes a long way to supporting your local comic book community. And that's what this video series is about. So that's about all the time that we have. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the ringy dingy, get my notifications, go to my social media accounts, look out for free comic books, like the autograph Adam Kubert comic book that's going to be hitting my social media accounts. Make sure you check that stuff out, because it's cool, it's free comic books, and who doesn't like free comic books? I don't know, just saying. Well, that's it. Make sure you support your local comic book store. Make sure you support your local comic book artists. Until next time, we'll see you around. Thanks for watching.